Good morning, squad. So this vision that I'd had was that it'd be super awesome to be a part of a small group of faith-based dudes and dudettes who are also business owners, because like the lifestyle of an entrepreneur is just so wholesale different from the lifestyle of like every like regular like working 9 to 5 people that have like regular paying jobs where they work for somebody and that person pays a steady paycheck. Like, it's just so different. So anyway, I had mentioned this like vision, this desire to a friend of mine at the gym, the good dude John Listello, who's also a business owner, married to his lady who's also a business owner. Anyway, like and they thought, hey, this would be super awesome. It'd be great for us to have this vision together and maybe build this thing together. So we invited a couple friends, and the next thing we know, we're a part of a little faith-based business owners relationship society where we just kind of do life together, and we experience this journey together and support and encourage and pray for each other. Anyway, so we meet on a semi-regular basis, and there are some things that had come out of some recent conversations was that with them, like that Caroline and I didn't always know exactly where our like domains were at our business, or it wasn't always super clear to us, or maybe not super clear to our team about who reports to who about exactly what. And at the recommendation of the good dude John Listello, a couple days ago I put together an organizational chart for CrossFit Edwardsville. It showed the exact chain of command, the exact lines of communication, the exact pattern of who reports to who and who is in charge of who, and so on. And it was really eye-opening to me in many ways, but the most like eye-opening thing to me, I think, of all, well, there's two. One was that Caroline and I are in charge of we're in charge of almost identical numbers of teams, departments, whatever you want to call them at CrossFit Edwardsville. Like, I'm in charge of X number and she is also in charge of X number. That was the first like really eye-opening thing. Was like, I thought that I was leading the majority of the organization, but I wasn't. It's actually like a 50-50 split. So if I'm, CEO and GM or whatever, so is Caroline, except that she just has her own, 8 different departments that she's in charge of. So that was the first like eye-opening realization. It's like, wow, like Caroline really is just like stretched just as thin. We just never crystallized it in that way before. And the other thing that really came out of it was that if you look at me and my departments that I lead, it's like I'm like the CEO, but then I've got generals who are, I'm the head commander or whatever, but I have generals that are leading almost every single other department that's under my leadership and command. So like, for example, I lead the fitness teams, but those fitness teams are led on the day-to-day by the general coach JJ, who's the head coach. So she's basically looking after them and leading them, and I lead JJ. So there's that. Like, the punchline is that, like, you look at like my half of the organizational chart, is that I have people that I can trust and delegate and lead and that I can depend on to do X and Y and Z. But if you look at Caroline's side of the organizational chart, it's like Caroline's in charge of the department, and Caroline's also the key operator, the number one operator of that department also, which I think is the realization that like she's not really yet delegated the majority of the stuff. That explains why she feels so stretched thin, overwhelmed, and it was really eye-opening to see like, damn, like Caroline has like 9 jobs here. And so it gave us like helped us to identify some opportunities where, okay, here's where we can develop people and skilled people that can help out with these things, and also free up Caroline so she's not stretched so thin all the time. And I guess if there's a third thing that came out of the organizational chart, it was that our organizational charts are pretty damn flat. Like, it's sort of like on my side, for example, it's me leading one key person in each department, and then in a couple of those departments there are other operators that are also a part of the bigger picture. But generally speaking, whether it's me or on Caroline's side, it's we are the leader, and then there's one leader for each department, and essentially that's the organizational chart. So it's like it is not a deep roster, I guess you would say. So, to make our business more like bulletproof and like, I guess, long-term and, more, I guess, resilient to staff and personnel changes, we probably need to deepen our bench in each of these departments and have people who are like regularly understudies who are learning the craft, so that if my lead guy on technology, my technical administrator, if he has to step out for whatever reason, there's a trained person underneath him ready to go. Basically, like, deepening the org chart for safety, for, I don't know, sustainability, maybe, something like that. Just some thoughts for you guys early on a Friday morning. Peace.